Last month, we celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary. 5! That's a big deal, folks. We've been talking to some people about weddings and how much they cost. And we have a lot to actually say about that because we managed to pull off our wedding for less than I particularly had some grand visions. I thought about wearing a very expensive dress. I like those things. I wanted to get married in an outdoor setting, rather rustic, very Pinteresty. This was particularly my vision. Now, Dan, did you have a particular vision for how you thought our wedding would look like?
No.
It should be said that we have fairly large families, and our guest list originally was, I think, just shy of 150. Because I think we capped it at 150. We didn't want to go above 150. But when you hear about these totals, the average cost of a wedding is really high. It's $30,000 or above. And I think it may even be higher than that now. We knew we didn't want to go into debt for a wedding. And I remember hearing about this, I guess, adage, the cheaper the wedding, the stronger the marriage, or the longer the marriage. I don't know if that's entirely true, but it certainly would help if you're not going to start a marriage in debt. So compromises need to be had. The first compromise was the venue. So how did we figure out the venue that we ended up with, Dan?
Body of mine said one in a gym.
We already knew where we were going to get married. It was this church near Dan's parents' house. And Dan told me about this option that the priest who was going to marry us offered. And this particular parish has a school that's right on the grounds as well. And so we visited the gymnasium, and I thought initially, no, you can't have a wedding reception at a gymnasium. And when they told us it was free, the gymnasium, I said, let's just make the best of it. That was a huge money saver, the venue. The next one was the decision to not have a bridal party, though I don't think that is a huge money suck. I know that some brides will extend themselves and buy help with the makeup and the hair for their bridesmaids and their maid of honor. And since we didn't have a bridal party, we kind of gave guidelines of the colors that we chose for our wedding, which were light blue and lavender were the main colors. And I think that people, tried their best to put on their Sunday best, if you will, and they looked really lovely. And we can also impose extra expenses on them. The third one is the food, because that's the other major expense that, oh my Lord, when I looked up some caterers. So we found this food truck because, again, Dan and I, for our dates and for our time spent together, we would go and try different foods in Philadelphia a lot. And we came upon this Polish food truck And they were so personable that I asked them, do you guys do events? And they said yes. And so we started looking at their pricing for events. And I thought, okay, this is more doable. But then Dan and I were talking a lot because we were starting to worry about like, well, not everybody's gonna be digging some Polish food, and we're gonna have to have some more options. So how did we come up with the second option?
Yeah. We enjoyed going to this restaurant, and then she said, why don't we have Chinese
It was a Chinese restaurant.
food?
What was the other type of food that you were really pushing for?
Italian
More specifically?
pizza.
Yeah, and I refused. That's one area where I was like, line in the sand, we're not crossing this. This is a flipping wedding, we're not gonna have pizza. We had Polish and Chinese food at our wedding. And the cake, okay, that's another thing, because, I care more about taste than looks for any type of food. I really wanted to find a cake that I just knew automatically would be tasty. So the one that I could think of from birthday after birthday that we used to buy in our family was from Whole Foods, and it's their strawberry shortcake. And it's very simple. It's just plain vanilla cake with buttercream frosting and fresh strawberries, and with like some strawberry sauce. And that was it. We ordered it ahead of time from Whole Foods. Boom. So food was out of the way. Oh, but we did splurge. We got an ice cream vendor where they brought an ice cream cart of various flavors that we chose beforehand. Now that was crazy because it was more like gelato and specialty ingredients.
It was yummy
You
though.
tried the ice cream? I didn't even have any. I barely eat. They always find some way to eat. The next thing would be decorations. We found a restaurant place where they rent tablecloths and chairs. I wanted my bouquet to be very special. And so I got it from this florist from Philadelphia, and I thought, well, maybe she could do our whole reception. Again, when she quoted me her numbers, I was like, no, we can't afford you. But I will buy a bouquet from her. And, honestly, I hate to say this, I think she does beautiful work, but we probably could have saved a lot of money that way too. If we were to do it all over again, I wouldn't have gone that route. I would have gone like the outlet where we bought very small fresh flowers and we put them in the middle of each table. And then we had really huge balloons, these very big round balloons that the kids played with throughout the gymnasium. We had souvenirs, which no one I think even really took with them, which were bubbles, because we wanted to have like a bubble send off, but we were the last ones to leave anyway, so it didn't matter, but it was cute. We got that through Etsy. That wasn't a big expense. We actually had open bar. We had limited liquor. We had beer and we had wines. So you could get drunk. Well, did we have anything like rum and coke and stuff like that? No, I don't think so, but we did have sodas and various drinks, like non-alcoholic drinks available. We had another friend who offered to DJ our reception, which was so lovely, and he did a wonderful job. We sent him a list of music that we love, and he was so awesome. He made it special.
DJ was.
That's his name?
Yeah.
There you go. Things were starting to come together really, really well. And then with our photographer, I had known him because I had done like a photo shoot for just like my professional photos. He captured the happiness of that day from the children and everyone really who attended. Oh, the dress and like even the rings. The rings are a special story in that we worked with the lovely people at Ylang 23. Again, this is our advice to you, which is rethink the conventions that you think you must have at your wedding. I told them, having a diamond of a certain clarity, a color, all those criteria isn't really important to me. And so the stone could be even a different color. And it is. It's this beautiful deep pink color. It's a pink sapphire. That saved a huge amount of money. Our ring set, or rather what Dan got me, was from a really talented artist named Megan Thorne. Megan! She just does such detailed work. Now Dan's band is not Megan Thorne, but it has an inscription. And do you remember what it is? What it says?
Oh yeah.
I have to remind myself because it's so worn. I'm pretty sure I remember. You don't remember, do you? What does it say, Dan? Let me see.
There will be no greater joy than be married to you.
Not quite, but almost there.
Wow.
It says, and I quote, "To love you eternally, there will be no greater joy."
Yeah.
Bibi.
Oh.
And I forgot that I put Bibi on there.
Yeah.
And that was also from Ylang 23. My ring set was less than $2,000. My dress, okay. As a wheelchair user, it's really hard to find a dress that looks good sitting down all the time. So I ended up with a made, like a tailor-made skirt and top. I spent total probably close to $1,800 on the dress. And Dan wasn't happy because I didn't wear white.
No. Yes, but I did wear a top 1,500.
No, it was not. His suit was like less than $200. I mean, it was ridiculous.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
All in all, folks, I think the moral of this whole rambling story is that when you're planning a wedding, remember, it's not just you, ladies. You're marrying another person, okay? And you gotta consider what they want too. And you want to start on the right foot, which is, i.e., not worrying about money issues in a new marriage. So that will involve compromise. There will be some aspects of the vision that you had for your wedding that you won't be able to fully bring to life. And that's okay, because at the end of the day flies by and all you have left are the photos and maybe some video. And then you just have the real life stuff, which is the marriage. And that, my friends, is the most important. So whether you have a super duper fancy expensive wedding, or on the cheap less than $1,000 wedding, or even the Justice of the Peace wedding, we hope that it is first and foremost a very, very happy marriage that follows. So we hope this was helpful.
Yeah.
Give it a G.
Ciao.